What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson. Thanks for stopping by today. We have some crazy news about Agatha Coven of Chaos. It looks like we know what the main plot of the show is going to be about. And it is going to be about Agatha, of course, but it is also going to be about the Scarlet Witch, Wanda's kids. But the story is going to be delivered in a very interesting way. And ultimately, this will lead up to the Scarlet Witch solo project. But right now, we haven't really heard anything about the Scarlet Witch making a cameo in the Agatha Coven of Chaos series. There have been some rumblings about it, but nothing from any major insider. So right now, that remains to be seen. However, we have heard recently from a major insider how Agatha gets released from Wanda's spell. If you recall, at the end of Wandavision, Wanda basically trapped Agatha in a mental prison spell, turning her back into Agnes, the role that she pretended to play the whole time.
So what now? Just gonna lock me up somewhere?
No, not somewhere. Here.
Here?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you the role you chose. The nosy neighbor.
Wait. Hiya, hun.
So when they announced an Agatha Coven of Chaos series, people were wondering, well, how exactly is Agatha going to break free? Is she going to do that herself? Is somebody going to help her? And as it turns out, yes, somebody is going to help her, the Scarlet Witch herself, but she's not going to do this directly or intentionally. And the way that this happens might make some people wonder a little bit. However, we do have a theory on what could be happening here, but according to the insider, can we get some toast? Agatha Harkness gets freed because of the ending of Multiverse of Madness. And they show a clip of Wanda pulling Wundagore Mountain on top of herself. And here's why this is really interesting, because we know that Wanda didn't die. And even Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has teased this himself. He said, if you look at the end, when the rocks are falling, when the mountain is coming down, there's a little red light. And of course, most of us think that that's Wanda taking herself away, teleporting somewhere, maybe somewhere in our current universe, maybe in a different universe or a different realm. Regardless, we know that she's not dead. We know that she is coming back. She's already said she would love to come back. She's already talked about it a little bit, but of course is trying to avoid saying that she is definitely coming back, because obviously they're trying to make it seem like she died. However, insiders have told us a Scarlet Witch solo project is coming. She's also said herself in interviews that for her to come back, the story would have to be pretty good. So there, of course, is that possibility. So she didn't die, but apparently what she did at the end, and perhaps the Darkhold being destroyed, will release Agatha. Then from there, we'll start the Agatha Coven of Chaos series, in which we have a new synopsis for. And it's very interesting and might be how we end up seeing the Scarlet Witch later on. Agatha Coven of Chaos is definitely setting up a reunion between Wanda's kids and herself. First, a reunion between the two kids themselves, and then the two of them with Wanda. This synopsis and plot details is coming from insider Daniel RPK from his Patreon account. And this is what it says. Agatha Harkness awakens from the spell, and she awakens to a boy. Now, some have said this boy releases her from the spell, but like I mentioned, insider Can We Get Some Toast says that Wanda's apparent death is what releases her. But it goes on to say that the boy asks for her help, and Agatha Harkness forms a coven with the woman of Westview to enter the Witch's Road, a place where wishes can come true. Now, you may have caught our last video on the Scarlet Witch and how her solo project might also be centered around the Scarlet Witch Witch's Road story. And if both Agatha Coven of Chaos and the next Scarlet Witch solo project are going to be based off of the Witch's Road, there's a lot of connectivity going on here, which of course is what Marvel does. We'll talk about more in that connectivity in just a second, but to finish the new plot synopsis, it says the Witch's Road is a place where wishes can come true. This is where the boy can get what he wants, and so can Agatha. But to get your wish, you must pass a series of dangerous tests. Now let's stop it right there before we talk about the rest and talk about the villains, because we apparently know what this boy wants. This boy is apparently Wanda's son, Billy. Now, so far, we haven't heard anything about how Wanda's son Billy comes back. We do know that Wanda has seen versions of her children, Billy and Tommy, in other universes, but in the current main MCU universe, she simply created them. So we don't know how they're back. Perhaps something she did with the Darkhold off screen that we don't know about. Perhaps she did this in a way that she doesn't know about. But as far as what the boy wants from the Witch's Road, what we know him to want is his brother, Tommy. So however he gets back, whatever means that happens by, he still knows that he has a brother and he's trying to find that brother. Now, ultimately, I believe that the two of them are going to reunite and then search for the next thing, their mother. What would be the next step? Well, I found my brother. Now it's time to find our parents. Well, we don't really have a dad because mom created us by herself, so let's search for mom. And I think that's going to play a big part in the story of the Scarlet Witch solo project. But as far as what Agatha wants, we don't really know at this point in time, but we can assume that she wants power. She was already a very powerful witch, but then she got defeated by the Scarlet Witch. So she probably has a lot of bad feelings about that and probably wants to be an even stronger witch. However, what we've heard from the insider Can We Get Some Toast is that by the end of the show, since she's going to be helping Billy, she'll eventually go on to care for him. She's going to connect with him the entire time and come to be sort of a mentor to him. And this is great because this sets up a story for the Scarlet Witch as well, because in the comics, Agatha is the mentor to the Scarlet Witch herself. And in the comics, when Wanda loses her kids like she did in Wandavision, Agatha actually erases the memory of her children from Wanda's brain. Now, it doesn't end up working out too well for Agatha because once the Scarlet Witch actually remembers this, she ends up killing Agatha. However, Agatha comes back as a ghost and continues to mentor Wanda. And this leads us to the Witch's Road story. The entire storyline of the Witch's Road, Agatha as a ghost is right there with Wanda. And it's curious because in the Witch's Road, in this other realm, Wanda runs into her mother, the original Scarlet Witch. This is something we could see happen to Billy and Tommy in the Witch's Road. If it grants them what they desire, they could find each other and then their mother. In fact, that could be how the series ends. The two of them get reunited and they find their mother, and that goes into the Scarlet Witch story. But like I said, there are going to be villains, of course. It's a show, it's a Marvel project, you have to have a villain, and that villain is apparently going to be multiple people. It's apparently going to be the Salem Seven. The plot synopsis continues to say, to get your wish, you must pass a series of dangerous tests. A group of powerful witches known as the Salem Seven come to Westview to seek revenge against Agatha and follow her coven into the Witch's Road. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Salem Seven in the comics, each member had the same father, and that father was actually the son of Agatha Harkness, Nicholas Scratch. So Agatha is actually the grandmother of the Salem Seven. Now, in the comics, they all live in New Salem, and they're actually influenced by Agatha's son to go against her. And over the course of several years, the Salem Seven managed to strip Agatha Harkness of her powers. And they actually win. They eventually catch her and burn her at the stake. Now, as far as what they'll do in the MCU, it's definitely going to be a little bit different. This plot synopsis says they're going to seek revenge. So Agatha's been around for hundreds of years, perhaps even more. So clearly this is something that happened in the past with their old coven, and they're coming to seek revenge. So it's definitely shaping up to be a pretty interesting show so far. One that I'm definitely excited to see. Now, as far as the release date is concerned, Marvel has pushed it back, but we do kind of have a window based off of other Disney Plus series that are going to be releasing. We know Echo is coming out November 29th, Loki Season 2, October 6th, and we know that the Daredevil Born Again premiere is summer 2024, so we are looking at a mid to late spring of 2024 release date for Agatha Coven of Chaos. So go ahead and let us know what you think about this plot synopsis in the comments down below. Are you excited for this series or not? Leave us all your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment so you can enter our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item and we pick a winner at the end of each month. Also, we are on Patreon now. We have a full functioning website as well and have a Discord server. We'll link all of those in the pinned comment down below. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.